opening up in a very big way to therapy. But a large section of our Indian population still feels, going to a therapist is like, ki unless you've gone mad in your head or there is something wrong in your head, you go to a therapist. Everybody needs to go to a therapist. It is just that once you go to a therapist or something, they just help you clear that clutter and it helps you function better.
Hello everyone. Welcome to another exciting episode of the iRonik show. आज का topic बहुत interesting है. It's past life regression. So when we talk about past life and past life regression, there is a lot of mystery to it. There are a lot of unanswered questions that we have. Past life regression किसे करना चाहिए? Who should go for it? If I am in a past life regression session, so will I get stuck in my past life or how is it? And there are a lot of other questions that are there in our minds, right? So our guest today in this podcast, Kausalya Suresh ma'am, is a past life regression therapist, and she has helped to simplify the overall past life regression. What is past life regression therapy? Who should do it? What are the process to it? Is it beneficial for you? So this is going to be a really interesting podcast. Watch this. So without any further ado, giving to you Kausalya Suresh ma'am on the iRonik show. Hello Kausalya ma'am, welcome to the iRonik show. And so I just leave the floor to you to explain what exactly is past life regression therapy in a very layman's term that we can understand. Please Kausalya ma'am.
Thank you Ronik, and thank you so much for having me on your show. It is an absolute delight for me to be here and talking on
Thank you, ma'am.
Something that I am so passionate about. And thank you so much that you have given me this opportunity. Not only because, like you said, I would like to take this opportunity to clear a lot of misconceptions that
right.
surround this topic. Like you said, it is very controversial. People usually associate past life regression or hypnosis with a lot of mumbo jumbo. They never take it as a therapy. They never look at it as a cure or a treatment. Somewhere they have a fear of, that it has some voodoo or magic angle to it or something like that. But it is, according to me, because I'm very passionate about what I'm doing, according to me, it is a very simple science which deals with helping you resolve your problems. The basic principle being that everybody has problems, physical, emotional, psychological, everything. And all the solutions lie within yourself. Nobody
Absolutely.
is going to come and give you a solution to your problems from outside. So when the solutions are within you, it is just with the help of a therapist that we help you access your solutions which are within you. That is the basic funda of past life regression, what I look at it. In fact, I tell a lot of people who come to me for this, a lot of people come for just out of curiosity, So they want to know what were they in their past life and things like that. Main kya tha? Where did I live? What did I do? Everybody has that curiosity of, what they were in their past life. Maybe they were kings and queens or, what was their life like in the past life? So I told them, I said, see, this is not travel and tourism, platform. Though a lot of people do use it, for just out of curiosity. But personally, me, I feel it is a tool for therapy, purely therapy. And I tell them, I said, see, this is not, like I told you, tour and travel, okay, let's go on a trip and see what's happening. Because the whole thing that we are dealing with is energy. One thing that science has taught us is energy can neither be created nor destroyed. And we also agree that our soul is one of the most strongest forms of energy. I mean, we are all running on something, right? I mean, from our birth till we fall dead, and then the body is just a piece of nothing if that energy is not there. Once the, whatever you call it, the soul, the prana, the atma, whatever name you give it, it is a form of energy. So when we know that the energy cannot be created nor destroyed, so this energy is traveling. So this energy can only transfer, probably from one form to another. And we don't know where all this energy has been in I don't know how many millions of years. So if you just tell me today that, I want to see what was I in my last past life, we don't know which life will you go to. I mean, and that is when the mind starts wondering, hey, what is this? Am I seeing what I'm seeing, or am I imagining? So I'll tell you what it is. What I believe in is that your soul is an energy, and it is in your body till you are there. But along with that, though being an energy, like we say, it cannot be destroyed or created, it has moved through so many forms, through so many lives, maybe static energy, maybe, once it has, what all forms of energy it has, changed into and translated into and then come to us. So it carries a database, like a DNA strain in it. Definitely, once that, say, energy or Atma is in you, your brain does a fantastic job. It has a conscious mind and a subconscious mind. The work of your conscious mind is constantly to protect you. See, like, when you are a human being, there are all kind of experiences that you go through. Yes, you go through very traumatic experiences, you go through very good experiences, you go through horrible accidents, you go through terrible pain, in certain times. Now, your conscious brain is such a wonderful tool that it erases all those memories, right from your childhood, time to time, it clears all your memory. The main objective of your conscious mind is to keep you safe, is to keep you trauma free, is to keep you, keep you healthy, keep your mind healthy. So unnecessary things every day as a matter of routine, it deletes. Like we say, why is sleep so necessary for us? Because when we sleep, it's actually your brain is deleting all the unnecessary things that are not required for you to remember and, that are stored in your head. In the same way, when we do regression, we calm the conscious mind and go over to the subconscious mind where the problem exists. So like I told you, this energy, which carries a whole lot of past data with it, sometimes has some unresolved issues. It could be, maybe say some things in your past life, in your childhood, sometimes in your unconscious state, that you have gone through certain traumas. And somewhere it has not had a closure. So that keeps popping back into your present day and creating problems for you in your present day life in forms of probably an emotional stress. Emotional stress could be things like depression, unexplained anger, unexplained anxiety, unexplained likes and dislikes, strong likes and dislikes for no rhyme or reason. I mean, or it could be even problems like, say, severe headache. Like I have known patients who have had headaches with everything tested. They have done their MRIs, their scans, they have gone to every possible cure, but they're not able to find why, that. And I've seen people who have a consistent either cold or a cough, which never goes. I mean, it is like part of their system after some time. So in all these kind of chronic problems, we realize that this is not because of your, body conditions. You may be very fit, you may be everything, but yet there are these chronic problems that are arising. It could be because of some past life, trauma, or whatever which has not had a closure, which is creating a problem in your present life. So it's very simple. According to me, it is like you have a problem, you sit with the problem, and the method is so beautiful. You actually have to experience it to know it. You sit with a problem, and the mind is so well tuned to it that once the process starts, it will take you from point A to B to C, and all the points you'll wonder is where is it going, like when you start the process of regression. And finally, it will come to a point where the origin of the problem is. And now here comes the expertise of the therapist as to how he or she can guide the patient to the point and take them to the point of where the problem is originating, where they can relive that. It is painful sometimes, it is. But because it is happening in a very controlled setting, because you are helping them guide it, there is no physical pain. There is no physical pain that they go through, even if it is a very traumatic experience. They go to that point, put a closure to it, give it whatever the required attention, healing, or whatever that is calling for, and put a lid on it. It is like, something is open, you just put a lid on it and shut it. I'll give you an example. Like, I had this girl who was in college, and like I was telling you, she had this problem of having headaches. And I used to see the mother buy Saridon tablets as if she's buying monthly ration, So
Okay.
I was surprised. I said, who in this age eats Saridons like, chewing gums? So she said, no, I have tried everything. I have tried her MRI. I have tried this. I have tried that. And I've taken her to all the best doctors. But nothing has happened. So I told her, I said, let me give it a try. And nevertheless, we did it. We went through a session. But the long and short of the whole thing is that this particular girl had a very traumatic end. Some very heavy vehicle had come and hit her at the back of her head, and she died in that trauma. So maybe there was no closure for that, or she was taken by surprise. It was unplanned. I don't know what it was. We put a closure to it. There is a process how you do that. You take the patient, take the person there, you make peace with that particular incident, and you put a closure and all that. And while this accident happened, this is where the interesting part is. While the accident happened in that session, this girl was riding a cycle. This girl was riding a cycle where this person has come and hit her on her head from behind with a vehicle or whatever, and she's right. Now, all that fine. We finished the session. After that, she's never had to have a tablet ever again. But one very important aspect in that was the mother took me to another window and she said, come, I want to show you something very strange. So she said, can you look down there? That near the window, there is one cycle. I said, yes. So she says, that is a cycle. And my daughter is now 21 years old. And from the time she has been 7 years old, we've been trying to teach her how to ride a cycle. She has an elder sister. She has learned how to ride a cycle. She rides a two-wheeler, all that fine. But this girl, today she's 21 years old. And she has a terrible phobia for cycles. She just cannot get onto a cycle. So many times they have tried her. Every time, every month they give it a try. Abhi ho jayega, tabhi ho jayega. So she had a phobia for cycling. And that is all related to that one incident. When in that incident we came to know that our mind is such a powerful tool. Such a powerful organ or whatever. We know a lot about our brain, which is like hardware. We know everything. The science has taught us probably everything about our brain. But we hardly know anything about the mind part of it, how the mind works. I think not even 2% of mind work is what is supported, with studies or whatever. Because everything is, like you said, it's a controversy. And we know that mind is what makes everything work. Yet we know so little about how the mind works. Like, for example, when you hear of people doing impossible things, like a lady without no legs, her legs got amputated, and she has climbed Mount Everest. So this is not physically possible. This is all up here, in your mind, what you can do. There are ordinary people who do extraordinary things. So it is all how you do it in your mind. Like you have commandos, you have extreme sports guys. They are not made differently. I mean, they have no extra organs in them. It is just the power of their mind. So when the mind can access so much, you mean to say the mind can't cure you? Mind can cure everything, especially within your own self. So that is regression all about. I mean, everything to do with the psychoanalysis, psychology is everything to do with mind. How best you can use your mind to help yourself. And like I told you before, all the solutions are within you. Nobody is coming to give you any solution from outside. Be it your disease, be it your worries, be it your any kind of problems.
So I heard what you said. So maybe the interpretation in a very, very layman language could be that we are using a cell phone, we are using our laptops in our day-to-day job, which becomes slower as we go ahead, I mean, as it ages, right? So sometimes we clear the entire memory and we reset it and we start using it, and the performance of that phone suddenly increases. So that's what we are trying to do with regression therapy, uncluttering the, taking out all the trash from the brain and just resetting it so that it functions to its full potential.
Exactly. It is like if I allow me to use the same example, say you had your cell phone. Okay, you have, uninstalled all your data, but yet there will still be some data stuck somewhere. From your side, you have cleared everything. That is your conscious mind. Visibly, you cannot see anything. You see your storage, you see everything, it will show all zero. No storage, no nothing. But there will still be an amount of data stored somewhere in that phone, which you cannot access. But that data will start interfering with your functioning of the cell phone at some point of time later on. So that interference, that problem that is interfering from that data which has been stored is what we clear out, is what we use past life regression for. And a lot of people have a fear that in hypnosis, when I'm in my state of hypnosis, I will reveal my most inner secrets. I will tell them, things that I shouldn't talk about, or things that, they don't want to make public or others to know. It is not like that. Because if you are sitting with a problem A, your regression process will only address that problem A. It will not go and, search around in the rest of your brain to find out, okay, this is hidden, we'll bring this out, we'll bring that out. No, that doesn't happen. It is very, very specific and target oriented. So that is another doubt I want to clear of a lot of people, that when you go in for a past life regression, you'll bring out all your secrets and things like that. No, it doesn't happen. That is not what it happens.
Okay. So what you have just mentioned and what I understood is that there are certain memories from our past life, right? Which, if done through a proper process, through a proper, consulting a proper therapist, that those memories which may be haunting us in our subconscious mind can help us really progress in our present life.
Exactly. Your productivity will increase, your output, the way you work, your energy levels, it makes a lot of difference.
And what does science say about this complete therapy of past life regression and all this?
See,
and the hypnosis therapy that the therapists use?
Because science works on repeated experiments and the same result. Only then they will establish a fact. They have to continuously do the same process and get the same result. Only then they will say, okay, this is correct. But with mind, it doesn't work that way. With the mind, you will never get the same result. The process will be the same, but the results will vary always. So you will never have a chance where you will get repeatedly the same results. So because of that, it is scientific, because science uses a very specific methodology of establishing a fact. So that's why.
Ma'am, you gave an example of that young girl who had headache since her childhood, and past life regression therapy helped her to overcome that and get rid of the medicines that she was consuming, right? Past life regression therapy, what all diseases, what kind of diseases can it help to probably cure, or there are many lifestyle diseases that we have today.
Yes.
Are these also stemming from the fact that there is something that has happened in the past life and
Absolutely.
those things continue to haunt us in this life?
Absolutely. All your chronic ailments have an answer with hypnotherapy. 100%.
Okay.
Yes, unless it is diseases like dengue, malaria, or typhoid, or surgeries. That allopathy works very well with. But when it comes to chronic diseases like, say, your arthritis, even diabetes, or any of even a lot of cancers, they have a cure, because there are so many blocks that are created. Till date, we don't know how and why a person gets cancer. I mean, it has become more common than the common cold these days. There is no answer to why a particular person has got cancer. What has, everybody in the same family, they're eating the same food, the same environment, the same thing. But one person gets cancer. Why? Nobody has an answer to that. So all these are curable with past life regression. It uses it can help you with age regression, clinical regression, so many things. Like, say, age regression, what happens is, say, if you've had some childhood trauma, so probably you take the person back in time and help the person heal that particular trauma, whatever has happened. See, in our life, in our mind, our traumas have to be addressed. For example, say between two people, you have an argument. Till you don't say sorry to each other and come to an amicable closure of that, it will always remain a problem area, no? It will always create a problem.
Exactly.
So it is as simple as that. So there has been a problem which has not been addressed. So through your regression, you regress that person back to time, in that place, in age, in time, or whatever, and put a closure to that problem that has been existing, which has not been addressed. So you address the problem is taken care of. It will not trouble you again. It's as simple as that.
Now, one thing that we have been constantly talking about is the power of mind, right? And I think that is also the focus of this regression therapy.
Correct.
Now, in today's world, I think if we start, drilling ourselves, going deep into ourselves, I think everyone has some or the other mental health issues.
Correct.
It could be anxiety, panic, depression, and the kind of lifestyle that we are leading, or
Yes.
kind of stress that we have, it's all adding to that.
Yes, definitely.
So will this therapy also work on these mental
Works
health issues?
beautifully. Yes. It works wonderfully for these kind of issues. You have certain blocks. You're doing everything, but something is not happening, which is not helping you open up financially, not grow financially. You're doing everything possible. You're doing all the required, SOPs, but you're not getting where you want to get. There is something that is holding you back. Regression therapy helps you open up those blocks, because the problem is not outside. You realize that if 10 other people are making money doing the same thing, Why aren't you making money doing the same thing? So the problem is not in what is happening. The problem is within you. Something you're not doing right. And you are not able to analyze it on your own. So when you take a help of a therapist with this specific, say, problem in mind, they will help you take you back to that path. I will give an example of this particular, financial thing that I was talking of. There is a client who came to me and she has equipped herself to the T. Whatever is required, courses, everything, and attended. And she has had a very good success with her business, whatever she was doing. She was into software skills and soft skills and things like that. But she is not crossing that threshold where she can make it big. So she was getting very anxious, frustrated, and it's been a lot of years that she's been into this. So we went in for a session. And we went in with this specific problem in mind, that what is it that is not helping her grow? And good enough, we found the problem. And she was also surprised that, this is where she's going wrong. I didn't know, because that is her life, her thing. So like I told you, the solutions lie within yourself. So in that state, you are very, very receptible. That is very important. See, when you and me are talking here, we most of the time don't pay attention to each other. And the present conscious mind is always trying to oppose whatever the other person is saying. But when you regress the person is in total receptive mode. Total receptive mode. So, regression also helps in putting affirmations in a person. Like a lot of children come to me, students who come to me. All of them know what they're supposed to do. They have a problem. And they all know what the solution is, but they're not able to do it. So when they come to me and when you put them in that, regression mode, and when they are calm and they are receptible, you put affirmations there in their subconscious mind that, I'm confident, I have no problem. Affirmations of positive affirmations. And there is a method in which you remove all your negativity also. Whatever wrong notions you have about yourself, that I'm not good enough, I'm not handsome enough, I'm not capable enough, I'm not, I'll not be able to do this. All those blocks that you have created for yourself, the therapist is able to remove in that state. Because the person is very receptive. And so it's like a cleansing method. So you cleanse out all the unwanted thing and put what is required. And it takes about a week when, the person, it is like auto-suggestion. The person himself feels, yeah, I can do this. Because your mind is telling you can do it. Because these have been implanted there in that state, in that unconscious, your subconscious level. Then another way where it really helps a lot of people is you go to a counselor for your problems. Now, a lot of people are not comfortable talking about their problems. They need help, but either they are so touchy about their problem, or they are so shy, or they are hesitant, or whatever be the reason, they're not able to open up to a therapist. See, unless you ask help, you will not get help, right? Only if you tell your problem will, solutions be taken out. Now here, regression again helps, because you just have to submit yourself to the therapist. Now the therapist will calm you down, put your conscious mind to rest. And when you are in that relaxed state, you will start talking. A therapist has a very nice way of making the person comfortable in that state, and then they will start talking to you. And at that time, when the person talks, they will open up much better. They will be more receptive to, getting suggestions. They will be more receptive to listening to what you're trying to say, and they will accept a lot of things that they're supposed to do, which helps, especially for teenagers and things like that, where they are very conscious of talking about their personal, problems. This helps. This particular method helps.
So, be it relationship issues, be it probably spiritual awakening of a person, right?
Yes.
And like meditation also helps in these cases. So what probably you are suggesting that regression therapy along with meditation, continuous meditation can help a person sort out these issues for a long term.
Definitely. In fact, if you can meditate, that is the best method. Then you won't even need a regression therapist. Because when you meditate, you are capable of accessing your subconscious mind after some time. Because you learn the art of calming your conscious mind and going into a space where you can reaffirm yourself, where you can sort out a lot of things. But that it is not so easily done then said. I am a regression therapist, and I'm not very thing to say that even I have not been able to achieve that level of meditation. So it is not everybody's cup of tea to go to such levels of meditation where you can do it. Definitely, regular meditation helps cleanse a lot of your unwanted junk from the mind. It is excellent. So it is as good as you are not able to do deep meditation, so you are taking the help of a regression therapist who will do that for you. That is it. It is as simple as that.
So one thing that you mentioned, that the recipient of this regression therapy should be acceptable of the fact and should have belief in this particular therapy, right?
Definitely.
And that's when the therapy will work at its best.
Yes.
Right? Which is actually true for any other form of treatment.
Yes.
Right. So what I wanted to ask, so who should come for a regression therapy? Is it everyone that please come for a regression therapy? As you mentioned, that people will also comes for regression therapy as a travel and tour package. Take me back to 1950, take me back to my previous life. So what do you suggest that who should come for this regression therapy?
Regression therapy can be accessed by everyone. Because we know, everyone has certain unanswered problems. Once you are born as a human being, it is impossible to have zero problems. And definitely everybody has some kind of emotional problems, emotional baggage. And it is just that once you go to a therapist or something, they just help you clear that clutter. And it helps you function better. That's all. So what is our problem is our mindset. In India, we still have a big problem of going to any kind of therapy. It is not considered good, or it is considered insane unless something wrong with you, or they feel that unless you've gone mental. That word mental, mad is attached to all our therapies, unfortunately, in India.
Absolutely. Right.
It is becoming very good now, and I mean, people are opening up in a very big way to therapy. But a large section of our Indian population still feels, going to a therapist is like, unless you've gone mad in your head or there is something wrong in your head, you go to a therapist. Everybody needs to go to a therapist because there are so many things that you cannot probably discuss with your parents, with your siblings, with your friends. And they are not an expert at it either. So if you need to take advice, it should be, first of all, an unbiased advice. Because everybody has an opinion about whatever, if they know you. So an unopinionated advice is something that always helps. So that is therapy. You go to a person who has no previous knowledge of whatever you're dealing with, and they take you as a fresh candidate. They have no matrix to judge you. Like, of course, they say, no, like, for a lot of things, yes, family helps. No doubt about that. Nobody can replace family in a person's life. What your nana, nani, dada, dadi, bua, auntie can sit and, explain things to you, do things to you. But these days, our stress and our emotional problems are gone beyond dada, dadi, nana, nani levels. What you deal in your day-to-day life, probably they will not even be able to comprehend. Our relationships have got so complicated these days, where we have so much of variables. Before, it was a very straightforward, life that we all led. These days, our relationships itself are so complicated. And you try explaining this to your parents, they will never understand. These days, the young children, the kind of relationships they are into, our parents will never be able to comprehend. So you need a very qualified person who can advise you, or rather take you on as a therapist. And it helps you. It helps you a lot to focus back onto what you're doing, to clear all the debris from your head. And if end of the day, your output is better, you are being more positive. Is that all that is we need today? However, which way we get it.
What's your take on reincarnation?
Reincarnation is past life regression only. See, what is reincarnation? What is supposed to be in your subconscious mind, somewhere it has slipped and come into your conscious mind. See, some things are meant to be in your subconscious mind. Wahan se it will trouble you, and it will send you, problems. But consciously you are not aware of it. What happens in reincarnation? That's why if you, see reincarnation, it happens in very early ages of a child. So this subconscious mind says something is leaked out and come into your conscious mind, and you are able to talk about it, or, tell people about it, or, but very soon your conscious mind is so smart, it will delete it. After a few years, you will not remember your whatever you said as a small child or whatever. Another illusion or delusion people have about past life regression is that you will go into your past life and get stuck there.
Right.
Okay, you will be stuck there and you will not be able to come back to this life. This is not time travel. This is not time machine. That, you're sitting physically in one machine and going there and getting stuck in some, 19th era or 18th era or something, and that, not no, it is not like that. You are conscious throughout your session. It is not like how they show in the movies, one clock goes tick tock, and then you fall off and you're, you don't know where you are, and then they do things to you. No. You are very much conscious throughout, because you are talking. See, the therapist can't get into your mind and see what you're seeing. So it is a very active procedure where the person has to continuously keep telling you what you're seeing. Only then the person can do psychoanalysis as to what it is. So from the time the regression process starts, or, once you're into the thing and you have been regressed and, you have achieved your hypnotic, trance level or whatever, you are continuously talking, only your inputs, because I can't see what you're, you are my eyes. So you will continuously give me inputs. So throughout you are conscious. So that is another myth that people have, that in past life regression, I'll become unconscious and I will get stuck in some life, and my body will be here, and when I come back, my mind will be in, some other life. No, that is absolutely false.
Right. So why I asked about reincarnation, because I told you that my mom always says, what you're doing in this life, you'll have to pay in the next life.
Yes.
So if that is true, probably I'll have to pull up my socks. I need to get my act straight.
Definitely. See, and my belief is there is no heaven, there is no hell. Everything that happens here. And your karma in this life only, you will get it back. You don't have to wait for next life.
So I don't have to wait for the next life, right?
No. 90%.
Okay.
You will see it here only. You do good,
Okay.
you'll get it good here. You do bad, you'll get it. Unless, yes, you have gone before your time and you have this thing, then probably next life you'll have to undo the damage. But as far as I am concerned, I think heaven and hell, everything is here on this earth.
Ma'am, just one last question probably. So you mentioned the benefits of past life regression therapy and the ailments that it can cure. So are these past life regression therapies used in some other, what do you call, in hospitals or probably in prison where the psychoanalysis of the prisoners need to be taken in? So what are the applications of, basically I wanted to understand.
They use it a lot for calming down procedure, where the patients, prisoners are agitated and, their anxiety levels reach very high. And sometimes you cannot over-medicate them also for anxiety problems. Like there are patients who cannot be given anxiety medication because they are on some other medication which will be contraindicative to, tranquilizing or something. So there they have used regression therapy, hypnosis therapy very successfully. It is there.
Okay. Thank you, Kausalya ma'am. And so I think Ronik, that was deep and brilliant session that we had.
Thank you. It has given
Thank you so much for your time.
To, explain so many things to people who have, like you said, a lot of misconceptions. And just I want to sum it up to say that it's a very simple therapy. So there is no need to be scared of it, or anybody can access it. Anybody can access it. Yeah, just make sure the therapist is good so that you are not confused end of the day. Just ensure that the therapist is good, because a lot of people who are not totally fully trained are they are getting into hypnotherapy. Just confirm that and you're good to go.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Ronik.
Let's see, I did something good in my past life that I have access to people like you who I can speak to.
That is wonderful.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Kausalya ma'am.
Thank you so much. Thank you.